Imagine being so salty that you literally have to wait for your timer to run down so that your opponent will win the game because you have nothing else to do. Pathetic. This match was a pretty funny one. We actually lost this coin toss and the opponent opted for us to go first, so naturally I'm thinking they're on some kind of OTK deck. Usually I just assume Numeron, but there are other variations of, I guess, OTKs out there. So we're on Spright, and going first is always good because we can always set up very strong boards with a lot of interruptions, and that's exactly what we're going to do in this match. The opponent though is planning to cook up something that is usually unbeatable, and if you watch the thumbnail or the title of the video, you probably know what I'm talking about already. That is of course the Numbers Eveil into Rongo into Salesman. That combination puts 5 pieces of material under the Rongo, and with that you cannot detach, or the opponent cannot detach materials from Rongo because Salesman makes it so the effect cannot be activated. This makes you have an basically unbeatable Rongo on the field, and you can't even normal or special summon to out it. So the opponent clearly is going for some interesting cheese stuff here to clear the board, and when we opt to negate the afterburners to save the elf, the opponent then goes Salesman calling Rongo. You can check it in the log history here. Number 86, heroic champion Rhongomyniad. I don't know how to say that. Wait, what a weird suffix on top of the Rongo name. Anyways, Numbers Eveil to bring it out. And we're going to chain Elf and Masquerena in order to bring out Avermax. Because I'm thinking like, well, I can't summon as soon as this thing hits the field. I can't do anything. It can't be outed. It's unaffected. It can't be destroyed by battle. But I mean, if I have Avermax, can I just beat into it multiple times? And if they can't out my Avermax, which is untargetable and indestructible because IP was used, does that just mean I win the game? Let's find out. So they go ahead and they bring out the Rongo, and they only attach 4 materials, funny enough, not the 5. I think that's how Numbers Eveil works, right? Yeah, 4, not 5. So they don't get the last effect, which is destroy all cards I control. Thank goodness, because then, you know, it would definitely be GG's. But hey, even so, the Avermax can't be destroyed, right? So we are good by card effects, that is. So yeah, this Rongo can't be destroyed by battle. It gains 1500 attack and defense, so it's at 3000. It's unaffected by other cards' effects, so you can't Zeus it, you can't destroy it, but you know, anything. And yeah, it basically can't be outed off the field. And then of course with 4+, I can't normal or special summon, so you can't even kaiju it. So yeah, we're in a rough spot. So we're gonna go ahead and Melfi Caddy here, which is, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna bring it back to hand, bring the Penny, and we can't summon. So yeah, that's the end of that. We go ahead and grab Jet, that can't be used. The opponent goes battle phase and beats over the Carrot. Now that's not great. Why could it beat over Carrot? Because this says your opponent cannot target this card with effects. Also, their monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Well, apparently Rongo is unaffected by that. Okay, that's kind of an interesting ruling. So they can just beat over all of my monsters, but they can't beat into my Avermax because this doesn't negate effects, and Avermax will just gain the attack of the Rongo. So we draw for turn, and our whole hand is pretty much dead. So we're just going to go straight battle phase and beat into the Rongo, gaining 3000 attack. And then the opponent realizes he's just going to beat into my Rongo 2 more times, and I lose the game. So right there, we outed the Rongo. Without outing it, we're just like pummeling it into oblivion, kind of. You know, it's staying on the field, we're just beating it down, and that's a GG. Alright, in this next matchup, our opening hand is Swap Frog Max C ×2, Spright Blue, and Call by the Grave. This was unfortunate because I actually won a coin toss, and then the game said like server error or something. And then I went into this game and I lost the coin toss, and I'm going second. So, I don't know. I complain a lot about going second, huh? I don't really know if it's complaining. I mean, at this point, I kind of just expect it. So, I mean, I'm just letting you know what happened, kind of thing. Regardless, this opponent reveals that they are on Vernusylph Naturia, which is quite interesting. With the Spright variant, I can deal with this version. The runic version is a little bit more annoying because my cards will be banished, obviously, from the runic cards. But the Vernusylph version, you know, it works well with it because it's also Earth, but I can deal with this much more reasonably. So we're going to normal summon Swap Frog, and you can argue that this is a mistake here, using Called By on the Cricket, but I'm like, well, I just negate it and banish it so they can't even bring it back. The opponent then is going to chain Blessing. So misplay on my part, not thinking about the Blessing there. So that's going to prevent it from getting banished. So because they're going to special summon, I'm going to chain Max C so that I get some draws off. Because if they summon the cricket, they're going to also summon off of its effect. So I'm going to get 2 free draws off of that at least. The opponent then chains their own Max C. And well, I have the Ash Blossom for that. So that's fine. We're on chain link 7. And then the opponent just wants to rack up those chain links, so they activate Sacred Tree for chain link 8. If I would have Ash Blossom first and then they chain Blessing, yeah, Ash Blossom negates the effects, they wouldn't have chained Blessing. So doing it this way, we out the opponent's back row, but they do end up still resolving the cricket, which isn't the greatest. So we do negate the Max C though, which means we can continue to play this turn. And if I would have done the Ash, yeah, that would have probably been better to save the called by, but I think the Ash is more useful than the called by in this scenario. So this isn't good. The opponent is able to dump and grab another Naturia Blessing off the Camellia, and the Sunflower will negate any monster effect. So if you try to special summon blue and activate the effect, they can just Sunflower negate, and then of course for paying the cost they can use Camilla effect to just mill instead. And then their Sunflower negate is still active because it's not once per turn, so when I activate another effect, they can just tribute the 2 Naturia monsters and have another monster negate. So they can have 2 monster negates with that Sunflower on the field, which is why you have to beat into it and get it off the field. Now I can play. Unfortunately, I think I will trigger, yeah, I do trigger Camilla's effect, and she is going to, or he, whatever it is going to special summon a monster, so they bring back the Sunflower, which is unfortunate, but that's why I grabbed the red. And now I'm going to play through with the red on board. What does this do? Well, if they attempt to activate Sunflower to negate a monster effect, I chain red and just negate it. I don't know if they can double chain the flower, like within the same chain. I think they can because there's no restriction. So the first time they activate it, the Camilla effect will pay cost. This does not get added to the chain link. This just pays the cost for it. It's kind of like Flow on Druids and the Unexplored Winds, where you just tribute off the opponent's card, like send the opponent's card. It's a cost effect that's being applied. It's not like its own chain link. You're not activating Unexplored Winds to tribute the opponent's card off, right? So it's the same thing for Camilla. It just sends the 2 cards for cost, and then they can also train it again, I believe, to tribute these 2 monsters to negate the red. So if I try to use red negate on the Sunflower monster negate, they would just chain Sunflower negate again and negate my red. So they end up getting 2 negates off a Sunflower instead. So the opponent is opting to let all of this resolve, and I'm going to go into Elf, and now I'm going to just go ahead and Smashers out the Sunflower. So because Smashers doesn't target, the opponent has to reactively tribute off the Sunflower to prevent it from getting banished, because my guess is this is their only copy of it, which means I'm going to now be able to banish another target instead. Well, without targeting, that is, of course. So they're going to go ahead and bring out Max C, I think, is the only Earth Insect that they probably play. Yeah, so this card, tribute an Earth Insect, bring out an Earth level 4 plant, or tribute an Earth plant and bring out a level 4 or lower Earth Insect. So they tributed Sunflower, which is Earth plant, so they have to bring out Earth Insect. So now Smashers are going to resolve, and I'm probably just going to banish the Cricket at this point, right? Prevent that follow-up with Cricket. But we do draw into Soul Drain, which would have turned the Cricket offline anyways. Now with the Swap Frog in the graveyard, we're going to go ahead and dump another Swap Frog. Now it's going to prompt the opponent to Kelbeck. I'm actually going to let this resolve because I'd rather let the Kelbeck hit the field than have it available for a mill. And we can continue to extend because we haven't yet used our Gigantic. So just like that, we've been able to play through the opponent's interruptions. And while under Max C, we're able to draw a couple of good cards. And we just end with the Carrot and the Red Negate, a Crossout, a Soul Drain, and a Caddy. So the opponent's going to opt to activate the Sacred Tree. I was debating here, should I have destroyed it, but I'm just going to go ahead and negate it because I don't want them to special summon that level 4 plant or like level 4 lower plant, because they're going to go for the card that I banished, Cricket, Naturia Mold Cricket, right? They're going to bring that out from deck, so I don't want them to do that. But they do have the Blessing to bring back their Sunflower once again, and they're going to attempt to Ash the Caddy, and I will negate that with the Crossout Designate. So came in clutch to help me resolve the Caddy, which will give me access to the Penny, and then I'll be able to synchro off into the Herald of Arclight. However, the opponent reveals that they want to use the Naturia Sunflower to negate and destroy. I'm going to attempt to red negate since I've already used my carrot negate, and yeah, sure enough, they're able to chain Sunflower again by tributing 2 cards, and I was totally fine with this because the game state, look what the opponent is on. They're on an unusable Sacred Tree now, and they're on a Kelbeck that doesn't do anything on field, and this is why I let them resolve the Kelbeck to spin back the Elf, and not like Ash it or whatever I think was the option to prevent it from happening, because I actually do want them to summon the Kelbeck. I don't want them to have it in hand and have them able to banish it. So the opponent is smart here, and they banish their Keldo in response to my Soul Drain, so that because they know that they wouldn't be able to activate the Keldo's effects once Soul Drain has resolved. So they go ahead and they shuffle back some cards, and our hand is already super broken. So I think once the opponent, then once they see the Spright blue, they know it's over. And again, Spright proven to be a really good deck out here in the WCQ. So yeah, let me know how things have been going for you if you've been using Sprites. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. That's going to be it for this video. Quantum is out.